Friends, I welcome you all for a lecture on sequencing of jobs. So here we will discuss a problem type of n jobs and 2 machines. So this is a problem. There are 5 jobs. Each of the jobs has to be processed on 2 machines, machines A and B, in the order of A to B. That means a job is to be processed firstly on machine A and then on machine B. So processing times in hours are given below. So we have to determine the sequence, optimum sequence in which these jobs should be processed so as to minimize the total elapsed time, that is total processing time. So this is the given data. There are 5 jobs and there are 2 machines. So for determining the optimum sequence, so I will draw here first the 5 blocks so that I will put the jobs in the order. Friends, now I have prepared here the 5 columns for one row and 5 columns. Why 5 columns? Because there are 5 jobs. So let us put them in the order as per Johnson's algorithm. This is the simply step we will follow here. We have to find out the minimum processing time out of the given processing times, and then we will select that minimum processing time. If it lies on the first machine, then we have to write at the extreme left, and if it lies on the second machine, then we have to write on the extreme right position. So we will follow this rule and continue till all the jobs are processed. Now if you observe here in the processing times, this is the smallest processing time in the given processing times. So it lies on the machine first, machine A. So I will write the job number 2 at extreme left. So now I will eliminate this job from further processing. Now out of remaining processing times, the next smallest processing time is 3 hours. So which is for job 1 and it lies on the machine 2. So I will write this job number 1 at the extreme right, and again we have to proceed. Now I will eliminate this job from further considerations. Now in the remaining processing times, the next smallest processing time is 4 hours. So it is for job number 4 and it lies on the first machine. So if it lies on the first machine, then write that job number at the extreme left position. So this is job number 4. Now I will eliminate now this job number 4. Now in the remaining processing times, the next smallest processing time is 5. So it is for job number 5 and it lies on the machine 2, that is second machine. So I will write the job number 5 here. Right? Now I will eliminate this one and there is only one job remaining and only one position. So I will write here job number 3 in that position and I will eliminate this one. So if you see here, all the jobs are sequenced. So this is the optimum sequence. This is optimum sequence as per Johnson's algorithm. Now let us prepare a table for determination of total elapsed time or total processing time. So this step is again very simple if you look at it interestingly. Friends, to determine the total elapsed time, I have prepared a table here where I have written the sequence of jobs, the optimum sequence as 2, 4, 3, 5, 1 in this table, 2, 4, 3, 5, 1. And for machine 1, I will write the in time of a job and its out time. Similarly, I will write here the for machine B in time and out time respectively for each of the jobs. So this is the optimum sequence as per the Johnson's algorithm. Now let us find out the in time and out time. Now let us say the job first which will arrive at 0 time. This is the reference time. Now it will get processed from machine A after how many hours? After 2 hours, that is job 2 will get processed in machine A after 2 hours. So its out time will be here 2 hours. Now once the job number 2 is processed, the job number 4 will arrive on machine A after 2 hours. That is, the finishing time of first job is the start time for the next job. Now similarly, now job number 4 takes 4 hours to get processed on machine A. Therefore, its out time from machine A will be its start time plus its processing time. So 2 plus 4, that is 6 hours. Getting? Now similarly, its finishing time of job number 4 will be start time for job number 3 on machine A, right? So this is the start time for job number 3 on machine A. This is the in time. Now how much time it will get to process? So job number 3 will take 10 hours to get processed on machine A. So therefore 6 plus 10, that is 16. Getting? Now therefore now this 16 is start time in time for job number 5, and job number 5 takes how many hours on machine A? It takes 11 hours. So 16 plus 11, 27, right? 27 is the out time for job number 5 on machine A. Now this is the in time. This is the in time. 27 is the in time for job number 1 on machine A. So now how much time it will get to process? It takes 6 hours to get processed. So therefore 27 plus 6, so 33 hours is the out time for job number 1 on machine A. So these are the calculations, time calculations for job number 1, 5, 3, 4 and 2. Now let us find out these calculations on machine B for each of the jobs. Now here the concept is there. Now machine B will remain idle till the job number 2 is processed on machine A. Once this job is processed on machine A, it will go on machine B after how many hours? After 2 hours, because it takes 2 hours to get processed on machine A. Now on machine B, for job number 2, how many hours it takes? It takes 7 hours to get processed on machine B. Therefore its in time plus processing time will give us the out time on machine B. So 2 plus 7, it takes 9 hours to get processed on machine B. Now if you observe here, now machine B will remain busy till 9 hours, right? But job number 4 is ready after processing on machine A after 6 hours. So for job number 4, the next in time on machine B will be 9 hours, because machine B will be busy till 9 hours. So this job will wait for 3 hours to get processed on machine B. Now this is the in time for job number 4 on machine B. Therefore now for job number 4, the total processing time on machine B will be its in time plus its processing time. So 9 plus 9, that is 18 hours it will take to get processed on machine B. Now if you observe here, the machine B will be busy for 18 hours, but job number 3 is ready by 16 hours. So for job number 3, the start time in time on machine B will be 18, because this machine is not ready till 18 hours. So therefore this will be start time in time for job number 3 on machine B. Now its processing time we will have to add in the in time. So for job number 3, its processing time is 8 hours. So 18 plus 8, 26 hours. by 26 hours, job number 3 will get processed on machine B. Now, if you observe here, the job number 5 will be available for processing on machine B after 27 hours, but machine B will be ready by 26 hours. That means machine B will wait here for 1 hour. So the start time is here 27 hours for job number 5 on machine B. Now it has processing time on machine B. On machine B it has processing time 5 hours for job number 5. So therefore 27 plus 5, 32 hours is the out time for job number 5. Similarly here, now out time for the job number 1 is 33 hours from machine A, but machine B is available after 32 hours. So here machine B will have to wait for 1 hour. So in time will be here 33 hours, right? Now processing time for job number 1 on machine B is 3 hours. So 33 plus 3, 36 hours. So we calculated here all the processing times for all the jobs, friends. So therefore we get here total elapsed time as 36 hours. So the time required to finish the last job on the last machine is our total elapsed time. Now let us find out the idle time for each machine. Now for idle time for machine A is calculated as total elapsed time minus time when the last job is out of machine A. That means this is the total time required to complete processing of all the jobs, that is 36 hours total elapsed time, minus the time when the last job is out of the machine A. That means last job is 1, and when this job is out of the machine A after 33 hours. So therefore let us write here 36 minus 33 equal to 3 hours. So therefore this is the idle time for machine A. Now let us find out idle time for machine B. So I will write first the formula how to calculate the idle time for machine B. Friends, so this is the formula to calculate the idle time for machine B. The time at which the first job is processed on machine B. That means this machine will be waiting till the first job is processed on machine A, plus now its waiting time we have to calculate for each of the jobs. That is nothing but the idle time for machine B. So therefore how to calculate the idle time of machine B for the remaining jobs? When the ith job starts on machine B minus its previous job is finished on machine B. That means unless and until the previous job is finished on machine B, it cannot start the next job for processing. So this calculation we have to do for each of the jobs on machine B, so that we will get all the processing time, so that we will get the idle time for machine B. Now if you look in the table here, the machine B is idle for 2 hours because the first job on machine A comes out of it after 2 hours. So this will be the first job timing which requires its processing on machine A. Therefore let us write first here 2 plus. Now for the remaining jobs, right, look here, when the ith job starts on machine B, that is this time, minus its previous time, so 9 minus 9. So let us write here in the brackets 9 minus 9 for job number 4, plus for job number 3 18 minus 18. So I will write all the calculations and let us add them. Therefore the total idle time for machine B is here 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1 plus 1 equal to 4 hours. So this is the idle time for machine B. So I hope you understood the concept of determination of total elapsed time and calculation of idle times for each of the machines. Thank you for watching the video.